Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Okay, right off the bat, I want you to use your imagination with me for a second. Let's cast you in a totally brand new role today. Actually, scratch that. You aren't a frantic retail trader staring at a violently red smartphone screen, stressed out of your mind. No, I want you to imagine standing in a dark, temperature-controlled server room. The air is literally humming with pure data. Today, you are an emotionless, high-frequency market maker. So, let's dive right in. The quote we have right here perfectly sums it up. You don't care if the stock market crashes or hits record highs. I mean, think about that. It's a completely different game than what most people are playing. Millions of retail investors out there might be panicking or popping champagne, but you are quietly, surgically collecting invisible pennies on every single trade, millions of times a day. You aren't betting on the direction of the market. You are building the house edge. To really unpack how this works, we're going to gamify things a bit today and peel back the architecture of this house edge step by step. We'll start at level 1, the spread, move to level 2, the order book, scale up to level 3, payment for order flow, dive deep into level 4, the psychology trap, and finally reach the peak at level 5, master of expectations. All right, kicking things off with level 1, the spread, the invisible tax. To truly get into this role, you have to forget literally everything you thought you knew about stock prices or predicting a company's future. It's pretty fascinating when we look at these two completely different concepts. On one side, we have the illusion, and on the other, the reality. The illusion is what most of us see when we log into our brokerage apps, right? We just assume we're looking at a single, absolute number. We think Apple is exactly $175. But if we step over here to the reality, you'll see there are actually two prices floating around for every stock at any given moment. And here's exactly how those two prices break down. At the top, we've got the bid. That's what buyers are willing to pay. Then, right below it is the ask, the exact price sellers are demanding. And that crucial gap sitting right there in the middle, that is what we call the spread. Let's talk real dollars to see how this plays out. Say a stock has a bid of $49.90 and an ask of $50.10. That's a 20-cent gap. And that 20 cents, it's basically an invisible little tax that exists in every single trade. As the market maker, you step in, you buy at the lower price, and you immediately sell at the higher one. You're taking on the risk of holding the asset, and this 20 cents is your compensation. The average retail investor almost never sees it, but you are custom built to capture it. Moving right along to level 2, the order book. This is the massive ledger. To see how this whole machine builds on itself, we have to look behind the scenes. You operate inside this massive ledger of buyers versus sellers. It's kind of like a giant, constantly shifting map. You've got mountains of buyers on one side, mountains of sellers on the other. And when a buyer and seller don't naturally meet up, well, you don't just wait around. You act as the system's shock absorber, constantly jumping into the middle to buy at the bid and sell at the ask just to keep the liquidity flowing. But to grab those pennies millions of times a day, you literally have to conquer the laws of physics. Just look at this crazy infrastructure. First, you've got co-location in data centers, spending tens of millions to put your servers physically right next to the stock exchange. Second, you're blasting private fiber optic lines straight through mountains to shave off mere milliseconds. And third, microwave towers. This one is absolutely wild to me. You use towers because light actually travels slightly faster through the air than it does through glass cables. You are spending billions just to cross the finish line a microsecond faster. Which brings us to level 3. Payment for order flow, the essential plumbing. So, what happens when we take this hyperfast operation and scale it up to a national level? Well, you get this staggering scale of 40 to 50%. As you scale up, you stop being just a participant. You become the essential plumbing of the entire financial system. You are processing nearly half of all retail stock trades in the United States before they ever even see a public exchange. Just think about the sheer magnitude of that leverage. But here's the catch. You don't just sit back and wait for these orders to roll in. You actively pay for them. It's a practice called payment for order flow, or PFOF. You know those super fun, gamified, commission-free trading apps everyone uses? Yeah, there's absolutely no such thing as a free trade. Those brokerages are actually making their money by selling the right to execute their customers' orders directly to you, the market maker. Now, why in the world would you willingly pay millions for this? Looking at these two types of flow explains it perfectly. On one side, we have institutional flow. Trading against massive hedge funds is incredibly dangerous. If they're dumping a stock, they definitely know something you don't. That's called adverse selection, and you will get crushed. But over here on the other side, retail flow. That's just a guy buying 10 shares of an airline on his lunch break. His trades are random, they're uncorrelated, and they're safe. You happily pay for this retail flow so you can capture the spread without getting steamrolled by an institutional freight train. All right, level 4, the psychology trap, monetizing fear. This is where we leave the machines for a second and step right into the deeply flawed mind of the human retail investor. Every single morning, the market is flooded with complex economic news, and honestly, humans are terrible at processing it objectively. But as a market maker, you know that value and price are two totally different things. Value is what a company is fundamentally worth based on earnings and assets. Price, though, that's just what the market is willing to pay right now, driven by rumor, fear, and hope. You aren't trading on the news, you're trading on the emotion the news creates. And this perfectly captures the single most profitable emotion on Wall Street. Just look at the size difference here. The pain of loss is twice as large as the pleasure of gain. Psychologists call this loss aversion. It's literally an ancient biological survival mechanism. We are hardwired to feel the pain of losing money twice as intensely as the joy of making it. The stock market obviously doesn't care about our ancient biology, but your algorithms, they cheerfully exploit it. You are literally in the business of monetizing human anxiety and panic selling. When a terrified investor sees a sea of red numbers, assumes the world is ending, and hits that sell button just to make the pain stop, you are the emotionless machine calmly stepping in to buy it from them right at the absolute bottom. And finally, level 5, master of expectations. Indifferent mathematics. This is the absolute peak of the ecosystem. Have you ever watched a company report genuinely amazing earnings, record profits, massive sales, but the stock immediately drops anyway? Retail investors scream that the whole system is rigged, but you know the truth. Stock prices are just a continuous game of expectations. The stock drops simply because those amazing results were actually worse than what the market had already priced in. That gap is the earnings surprise, and retail traders live and die trying to guess it. But you don't guess. You have completely removed all human emotion, all the storytelling, and all the guesswork out of your operations. While everyone else craves the action of the casino, you are relying entirely on the absolute indifferent mathematics of the spread. You let the retail traders argue over which stock is going to be the next massive winner. You let the talking heads issue their flashy price targets. Which brings us to this defining realization. I absolutely love this phrase. You don't predict the market. You are the house, and the house always wins. You're just standing right there in the middle, millions of times a day, connecting buyers and sellers and collecting your invisible tax. You literally are the infrastructure of the market itself. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought. Now that you've seen behind the curtain, knowing about the house edge, knowing how the spread works, the order book, and how your own psychology is being monetized, how are you going to approach your next trade? Definitely something to think about the next time you open up your brokerage app. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.